It's the Gdog podcast. I got Josh and my dad. And topics, we got college football, college basketball, and NFL. And start off, we got 12-team playoffs. What you got, Josh?
All right. I'm going to go with pretty much what it is. Oregon, Texas, Miami, Boise State, Ohio State, Penn State, Notre Dame. I'll take Tennessee, then Georgia, SMU, Indiana, and Arizona State, which I don't agree with Arizona State, but that's just the way it has to be, I guess.
Okay, I got Texas at 1, Ohio State at 2, Miami at 3, Boise State at 4. At 5, I have Oregon, 6, Penn State, 7, Notre Dame, 8, Georgia, 9, Tennessee, 10, SMU, 11, Clemson, 12, BYU. Texas beats Georgia. Texas is not losing twice. They have the easiest schedule, but I think it's a clear. I mean, you look at the roster, kind of really good. Quinn Ewers is getting better, but he's had injuries. Ohio State, again with the Texas, doesn't lose to Oregon twice. And then the rest of the teams, I kind of deserve it. Clemson beats South Carolina, which puts them above Indiana because Indiana is just not that good. I mean, they couldn't even beat. I mean, they got killed by Ohio State. And BYU slips in because they won the Big 12.
Okay. Yeah, but list here. I guess, I'll go with Oregon. At number 1. Texas at number 2. I don't know if Texas will stay at number 2, especially after the SEC championship. I'll stick with Miami. Boise State at number 4. I don't know. I'm gonna go Ohio State and then Boise State, and then Penn State. I'm gonna stick with Penn State. Notre Dame's another team I always think is kind of a wild card because they seem to, when it's playoff time, they just don't really show up. So I may slip them down to 9 and put Georgia at 8. No, Georgia at 7, 8 Tennessee, 9 Notre Dame, SMU. I don't know much about SMU.
They clinched the ACC championship.
Which one?
ACC.
ACC?
Yeah, the winner of.
And that's what's
No,
crazy.
they clinched it because they haven't lost the ACC game yet.
Okay. And that's what's crazy about football right now. It could be a team from the western part of the United States that's being Atlantic Coast Conference. And Indiana, I don't think's really. I mean, for Indiana, they're really good, but honestly, competing with these other teams, I don't think they're there. And Arizona State, I think they just was real fortunate to get in top 12, just based on the way it's set up. Honestly, yeah. I think that Ole Miss or Alabama is more deserving, but that's just my thoughts. Honestly, I think we should add 4 more teams in this, but we got to start somewhere. And I'm so excited about having 12 teams in the playoffs.
Way better.
Oh, my gosh.
Way better. So many people just got screwed in the past. It was awful. Like, I go back to it all the time. And the worst one, it makes me angry is like Oklahoma and Oklahoma State. That year when Oklahoma won the championship.
Yeah.
And didn't Oklahoma State beat them that year?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I don't make
That's when they played Georgia and was close game. I think it was like 2019 or something.
They should have been in there.
Yeah.
But of course, yeah.
Well, what about the most recent of last year? Last year we had, what was it? Florida State was 4th seed.
No, they didn't get in. Even though they were undefeated, they didn't.
That's what it was. They didn't even get in. They would have got into this, but they were undefeated. And, they played, what was it, Georgia?
Yeah, and got killed.
Got destroyed. And so, and my whole point about that is SEC and, Big Ten are just powerhouse programs. And those teams are well-deserved to be in this.
Yeah. And then even, most of the year that Notre Dame made it and got killed by Bama, they should not made it.
And that's why
that one big time Hawaiian dude. I can't remember his name. He didn't last long.
Oh, that was rude.
No,
I can't remember his name.
And that's why I always knock Notre Dame a little bit. I think Notre Dame is. I'm going to use like in the past, UK basketball. Notre Dame in football kind of carried by their name to some extent.
Yes.
You know.
So rich history.
Yeah.
Big time.
So, but there's a lot of teams that I think just haven't played anyone, and if they have, they lost. Penn State, Indiana, SMU, Notre Dame, Clemson's even up there. Miami, I don't think's really played anyone. They haven't played any of the top ACC schools. I think they played Louisville, and they about lost. I don't. And Louisville's, I mean, they're good, but not like Miami though. But it just, I think it's better, but the way they set up, I don't think it's that good.
No. But I'm excited. I'm
Yeah.
excited, and
And then also, who you guys think's the national? Just best two teams.
best two teams.
Best two teams you got.
Oh, I'll pass this over Josh. Let him kind of look at it too.
Like a national championship.
Yeah, national championship. Best two teams. Don't have to, I mean, hard because you got Oregon. I mean, they played Ohio State, but that's about it. But they're good. They did beat Boise State, but Boise State's a Mountain West team. Texas hasn't played anyone. Georgia's up there. I mean, it's just kind of, I don't know. All the teams up there haven't played anyone.
I think that it could be.
I mean,
it could be a rematch of an SEC championship. It could be a.
Could be. That'd be fun.
I don't know.
Ohio State has a good team.
Yeah, I mean Ohio State and like Texas going at it. That would be pretty cool.
That'd be fun. I
That
mean,
would be.
Miami. I mean, Miami hasn't been a contender in years.
No.
I don't know.
Ray Lewis.
You know, so they could be the wild card. Boise State. Well, they have that top player looking at the Heisman. I don't know, and I'm not a big Boise State fan, as I just mentioned. I think that Ohio State's better than Boise State. I think honestly, I'm gonna go with an SEC team, and I don't know which three, and then I'm gonna put them against Oregon.
Put them against Oregon.
Yeah, I think Oregon will be in the championship, and I think Oregon will be beat by one of those SEC schools, which I'm a little biased. I'm going to admit to it. I'm a little biased on SEC programs, but that's the way I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of stuck.
It's going to be
SEC program.
Yeah, I'm a little biased. I mean, I'm not going to deny it. I'm not going to deny it.
It's going to be probably Big Ten versus SEC probably because Ohio State, Oregon, even though they barely played anyone, they're still really good. And then SEC school is an SEC school. They're going to be good no matter what, as we saw last year against Georgia and Florida State. I'd probably say Georgia. I mean, not. I'd probably say like Texas and Ohio State is probably who I have. And then probably, I don't know who's going to win it though.
You said Georgia and Ohio State?
Texas, Ohio
Texas, Ohio State.
State.
That'd be a good matchup. That'd be fun. But
it all depends on seeding though.
Now, I got a question for you though.
Be a big game.
Who's quarterback on Texas?
Viewers.
Yeah.
You think so?
Is it a rumor, or did I read that like Manning was going to go to Alabama?
Well,
is that just a thing?
That's talk. That's talk. Because does it Ewers have another year potentially?
I think so. I don't know.
But they were thought he was going to be a top draft pick.
He fell.
But
he's like third round now. I think.
So he may stick for another year.
As a Manning though, and going to Alabama, like man, they'll put your head on a stick in the South.
I think he'll go Ole Miss.
Yeah, I pray for his family. He does, like, because I mean they've already been disappointed once.
I know. If I was him,
they're ready to kill those guys. Like,
and I don't know
who would shove his dad out of the state for that. Like,
and
awful.
If I was quarterback, Lane Kiffin would be who I'd want to play for. I'll be honest with you.
His best
offense.
Yeah,
and I mean he's a Manning.
He's a Manning, and so
it's gonna look amazing to see him in that uniform and
passing game. I mean, how fun would that be?
And he'll do good.
Yeah, I mean,
he'll do really good.
I think Bama needs a better coach though. I don't think he's ready for SEC. Because at this point,
I think you're right.
they've lost Vanderbilt, Tennessee, and then lost to Oklahoma. Got killed actually by Oklahoma. And just haven't. I don't know. They killed LSU, and then they beat someone else earlier in the year. That's pretty good. But Georgia, I can't think. I don't know why I forgot. Beat Georgia. Actually killed them for a while, but then Georgia came back, killed LSU, but then lost to Vandy by field goal or something. Tennessee by 10, I think, and then Oklahoma, I think it was like 24-6. So, but I mean, I think they need a new coach, honestly. But it could be the players too, because they haven't had the team because everyone transferred when Saban left.
Well, Nick Saban said on game day, he was talking about that Alabama was, well, what they had previously, they had players on the bench. They don't have the players on the bench that they used to have because they transfer out.
Well, nobody believes in the program right now.
Yeah.
You know, you took a big chunk of the puzzle out.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, like, that's with any program. Especially he's been there for how many years? How many championships? SEC championships?
Oh, 8, 09? I don't know. It was a long time.
Ring for every finger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you take that piece out, these kids, when they're your age, they're like, oh, he's gone now. I don't know what to do. And this guy really sucks.
And I want to play. Maybe I can make more money over here.
Yeah.
You know.
That's what it's about too. You get these top 5 quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers. They're not looking at the program anymore. Neither they're looking at what we're gonna make. Like it's crazy to me, but it happens now.
Now you two may know. One of y'all may know this, and I'm gonna throw this out there because it really doesn't make much sense to me. Is why Arch Manning went to Texas. No, I mean, waiting 2 years.
When he could have went anywhere.
Waiting 2 years. Now, 1 year, I get it. They've been doing that for, well, Tim Couch, Peyton Manning, his uncle, they did that. They waited a year or something like that. And hopefully I'm not inaccurate about that. But that's what most QBs have done. But he's waited 2 years. And now he's kind of in a limbo situation. What's going to happen?
Well, he screwed himself, I do believe.
Yeah, I
really think he did because, think of the places he could have went. He should have. I think he should have just went on Ole Miss.
But see, he'd been behind Jason Dart.
But he would have. I really think now.
Yeah, now you're right.
Something great
because Jason Dart is leaving.
Yes,
he's graduating. He's moving on.
And the boy's got an arm, and man, he can run.
Yeah,
man,
so
fast.
Yeah, man,
he is fast, man.
You got a great point. I mean,
he's good, but he's had the best of the best training you could ever possibly have his whole entire life.
Yeah,
and he's good. He's
he's
a really fast quarterback. He can get out of terrible situations. I mean, we see what was that first game he ever played in this year? He was just flying all over the place, man. He was going crazy.
But they played Louisiana Monroe, and he, I don't know how many touchdowns he had, but they had like 40 points or something and everything. And then he stepped up against Georgia and made it back a game, but still didn't win. And I think now, if he does stay in Ewers, potentially does NFL leaves, because I've heard he's looking to transfer maybe if he doesn't go to the NFL. He has a little bit of experience that he can truly lead a team wherever he goes. But SEC is still going to test him a little bit. But I think he's good. He reminds me. I really think of like a Josh Allen and everything. When I look at him a little bit because he's stays in the pocket, makes throws, and he's confident with his throws.
He's not scared.
No.
That's the thing about it. His running game, you can just tell he does not care, which can be terrible.
It can be.
That can really.
It's always fun.
That can really ruin your career. It's not my head. I enjoy watching it.
Yeah, I think he's NFL bound if he stays healthy. He's got the arm, got the mind to play the game because a lot of quarterbacks don't know. I remember when he came out of high school as a 5-star number one in the class. A lot of people because he was in Kentucky high school football terms. He played in like 1A, and he's playing like terrible teams. And when he played for example, like a 3 or 4A school, he didn't perform well. And I think now he's proved that he will and can go to the NFL. And if he does stay at Texas, he will lead them to something, even though he's going to be a sophomore or junior next year. Because I don't know if he redshirted or not.
Junior. Well, yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if he redshirted.
I'm thinking junior, but I may be.
I know junior, but I don't know if he redshirted.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm not sure about that.
Transfer. But then going on, Heisman is a big talk. So, what do you guys got for your Heisman?
Heisman, well, first off, it is, to me, I mean, looking at these guys, I mean, I saw some highlights earlier. I know they've got Ashton, Genty at Boise State, Travis Hunter at Colorado, and Cam Ward, I think, are the top three they're looking at for Miami. I mean, I think Travis Hunter, what I saw, is probably the most explosive, but I don't know that Genty, he looks pretty good. But I'm going to say this, though, and I say it all the time, is even though as Genty is this star, I'm going with receiver, though. I'm going with receiver. I mean, there's a lot of good running backs out there. I'm going with Travis Hunter. That's honestly just because of position.
I think Travis Hunter's going to get it as well.
I think he's going to.
I thought that for a while.
I think he's going to win it. I don't think he deserves it because stats I have down, he has 82 receptions, 1,036 yards, 11 touchdowns, and 12.6 average per catch. Which I mean, and he plays offense and defense. Last year they won 4 games. Colorado did. It's a big key of how you win.
That's pretty freaking incredible.
And
sorry, that's pretty
receiving yards, he is 7th. But then the defensive side, he only had 3 interceptions.
Sounds like a good idea.
He only has 3 interceptions and 3 total tackles, which is not. He's not top 36 in interceptions.
Bushel.
So I don't think he's very impacted, but I don't think he deserves it. Genting is potentially going to break Barry Sanders' record. So, and he has 275 carries, 2,000 yards, 27 touchdowns, and 7.5 average per run. He's does play in the Mountain West, but he's first in rushing yards. Mountain West is better this year. But I think Cam Ward, stats-wise, deserves it. He has 4 rushing TDs, almost 4,000 passing yards, 34 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, and 87.2 QB rating, which is first. He is second in passing yards. He has a great receiving core, but he's just performed the best. I don't know how many wins Miami had last year. I think it was like 6 or 7. And now they are a true championship contender. So I don't think he'll win it. I think Hunter will win it because he's under Deion Sanders. Everyone looks good under Deion. I'm not saying they aren't good, but they just look good.
I love him. I love everything about him.
I like him as a player.
Yeah,
I did. I like him.
Yeah,
his persona and all that stuff.
I think a lot of his coaching, though, and the way he treats his players, and the way he's building those guys up. Like, you watch the videos of him and all that stuff. I love it. Like,
well, Deion's old school.
Yeah, he really is.
He's old school, and
and that's good on these new kids.
Yeah, and
it's good on
them. It is. It teaches them discipline.
Because I think a lot of these programs are soft.
Yeah,
they're soft on them because they're like, well,
you may transfer. It's more money over there.
You say something wrong, it could, offend somebody, and they live. No, who gives a shit?
Yeah,
like, this is football.
It is, and
you're creating men.
It was built on military type stuff. Yeah,
it's a warrior sport.
Yep.
Discipline and being accountable.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what he's about. He's big on discipline.
He's a good coach too.
Yeah.
And also heard something. I don't think it was a week ago, which I think it's
he's
kind of
flashy.
I think
Yeah, he is.
I think it's
But he's not soft.
Let him do it.
But he's not soft.
He can be flashy.
He's not soft
He's
with
earned
it.
it.
Yeah,
I saw some of that he. I don't think it's out of the picture. I think it's out of the picture now. But he was looking that a lot of people thought he was going to go with the Cowboys. I actually did see that. I didn't make a lot of sense to me.
I think that would be a terrible.
I don't think he's.
I think he's very comfortable where he's at right now.
Yeah.
And he just needs to stay there and ride it out.
Mm-hmm.
I think that he'll have that job as long as he wants it.
Mm-hmm.
And
because the setup is Shador goes 5th pick. The Cowboys lose the rest of their games, which they've lost 2 in a row now. So it's out of the picture. But he goes there, coaches Shador, and then Travis Hunter they're going to go for him. So, but I think he needs to win if he wants to go any higher. Because Colorado's not a football program till now, really. I mean, you did not think.
Well, he put him on the map.
Yeah, you did not.
It's been the 80s, guys.
Yeah, it's not like Colorado's going to win the championship.
Colorado was good in the 80s. They were good in the 80s.
He brought the parade in town.
I mean, you look them up. The 80s, Buffaloes were a top team then, but that's the 80s. Probably more when Miami, the U, they were better some after the 80s.
They were good in the 2000s.
They were, and they played Ohio State
back in the day.
Yeah, they were tough.
Killers.
Yeah,
Dave Reed, Ray Lewis. Oh,
God, dude.
Team was loaded.
But didn't Dwayne Johnson the Rock?
Yeah, he
played. Yeah, he did. He did.
Better than that there, man.
And I want to say something about running backs. I always say running backs are a dime a dozen, but if you have a top running back, and if this was Ashton Genty, is that good, like a Walter Payton or something like that, Barry Sanders, you've got something in the NFL.
Yes.
You know, because that's not a dime a dozen. That's somebody that can actually, a good running back is something just kind of unheard of because they are so many out there.
But yeah, I agree with all that. I don't know how many yards he's from Barry, but I don't think he'll get it, but he's close.
No, Barry got it, right? Didn't Barry get it? Barry got the Heisman.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did.
Because he played for Oklahoma State, am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
Pretty sure he did. I don't know what year though.
No.
But
I was pretty young then, so I don't. I guess I need to do some more
I don't
homework.
remember that at all.
I'll be the one to remember it of the three of us.
And then now we got the pick'em for college football. Pick'em for Saturday's games. First, well, I didn't put this on here, but we're gonna do it because you guys are Kentucky fans. We're gonna do Kentucky and Louisville. Who you guys got winning with Cutter Bowling starting at quarterback?
I'll let Josh go on this.
This is
man. I hope that we win. I don't think that we will. I hope he does good. I hope Cutter really opens it up. I think last week, the line showed more for Cutter than they have Brock all year.
Mm-hmm.
I think because my thing is like, God, he can't stay in the pocket more than like seconds. Like nothing. As soon as it's crossed up, boom, he's gone. Like, you know what I mean? But with Cutter, it seemed like he had all the time in the world. Like he was all over the place.
He did. You know,
and it's almost like, okay, well, do these guys, are they sick of Brock? Like, is it kind of like a thing? Like, is it him? Is he the problem? Because it seemed like when Cutter came in and took over, it seemed like they really covered his ass a little bit there because they have not done that for Brock at all.
No.
All year.
No, all year.
I mean, he's got his ass kicked all year.
Yeah.
All year long.
But a quarterback has to developed a real strong bond with their line.
So what is
They have
Cody
to.
any different than like?
And he's a
has he been
freshman.
behind the scenes.
He's a freshman.
We love this dude. You know,
I don't know.
like that because it seemed like they do.
But also, they were going against Murray State.
I understand that, but it's still like we've
He played against Texas too. He came in Texas.
And he looked good.
He did. He came in Texas.
So what?
The ball was smoother off his hand.
But I'm telling you now, if we beat the brakes off of Louisville tomorrow, you'll know that there's something going on there.
You will.
They're done with it.
You will.
They're done with Brock. Like something, it's him, and I believe it is him because of his attitude. I've seen a lot of attitude from him this year. That's like, man, do you think just because where you came from, you're better?
You're a 5-star.
Because in my mind, you suck. Like, I don't like you. I haven't liked you.
You haven't liked him from the beginning. You haven't.
Me and you've talked. I haven't liked
you. You have not. And
I've talked about Cutter.
You have. You have.
And when Brock was starting out, I was like, I don't like the guy.
No.
And I don't. I never have. I don't like his attitude. I don't think that. There was a reason why he sat the bench. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and we were just cleaning up a mess, I do believe. Somewhere for him to go. Yeah. And I don't blame Stoops. I think Stoops is awesome.
I do.
You know what I mean? I have nothing bad to say. And you got so many people on like KSR and all these places like, we need to get rid of him. It's like, dude, he ain't going nowhere.
And he shouldn't go anywhere.
He's not going to go
He's getting
anywhere.
recruits. He's winning games.
Yeah, dude, like
he's getting future teams.
He's been good for us.
How many years has it been?
I do believe, hey, if you have a top 10 paid coach, I think we need a top 15 team.
Yeah, I'm with you.
You know, like, when's that coming?
I'm with you. But
I mean, I'm sorry, but
prior to Mark Stoops, if the starting quarterback couldn't get it done, the backup was terrible.
Yeah,
it was terrible. It was awful. It was like,
what was that? Wilson was his name. They tried to put him in.
Well, hell, what was it a couple years ago? We took a wide receiver and him overnight.
Yeah,
it was amazing.
Lynn Bowden.
Yeah, it was great.
I mean, so to put Cutter in, that's unheard of.
It was amazing.
So
I loved it.
So you've got Louisville.
I mean, I'll take Kentucky just because I love them, but I don't know. Tomorrow's going to be a big proving point for our team who they stand behind and who can get the job done. And like I said, if we beat the brakes off of them and we take this cup home tomorrow night, that's going to show you. Mm-hmm. That's going to show you a big thing against Brock. That's going to be a big.
It's the leadership if that's what happens.
So you got.
I got Louisville taking it tomorrow.
Louisville.
I got Louisville taking tomorrow. I hope I'm wrong. I hope that something crazy happens, and but I have not, and I just think it's because of the quarterback. I have not believed in this team all year, and it sucks because I love them so much. It's almost like Kentucky basketball. The past 3 years, I've dreaded watching a Tuesday night game. I've dreaded it, but I still stay up and do it. It's like, oh my God, it's Tuesday night at 9 o'clock. I want to go to bed, but no, I'm going to sit here and have a couple beers and watch this terrible game that we're going to lose to Eastern Kentucky University tonight. And I'm going to stay up till midnight.
And we've got a top recruiting class. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
I got Louisville, barely. It's at Kentucky.
I don't think it's going to be.
The only reason I'll tell you, I know Brock hasn't been the best, but you got a freshman quarterback against a rival team.
Yeah.
That's why. And
it's a big stage.
It's at home. It's at home, so it helps.
It's going to be loud. It's going to be crazy.
But I think freshman quarterback, not a true freshman, affects the win. Like 7 points, maybe. We got.
Guys,
give it to them.
I've got Kentucky.
Let's go.
I've got Kentucky.
I'm glad you're
And I try to be a straight shooter, and most of the time I have a difficult time going against Kentucky. But in this rivalry, I do not. And the main reason, unless Louisville has a Lamar Jackson, I think the ACC, and I'm SEC biased, and I think we win, but not much. We shouldn't have won them last year, but we did at Louisville, and I think we'll win.
Okay.
That's where I'm
I
at.
hope you're right. I don't think it's going to be a big margin on
No.
either side. Right?
No.
It's not going to be a blowout.
It's going to be a good game.
If it is a blowout on Kentucky side, like I said, we're going to know. There's some leadership issues that got fixed.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be really pissed if that happens. If we blow them out, I'm going to be pretty mad because I've said it since after day one, get him out.
And I was looking at the schedule, and they should have run the Vandy, or maybe even that Florida loss.
Vandy sitting.
Cutter should have been in, but I know you got some more, so.
Okay.
Terrible performance.
Next up, I'm going to skip a few because
Okay.
I want to know. But we got Tennessee at Vandy.
Well, I'll lead off.
Vandy. Yeah, okay.
Well, I'm gonna say this. I always want to go against Tennessee about it, but I think this is going to be a heck of a game. But I think that Vandy is probably the best Vandy team that I've seen in football. So I think, and it's at Vandy, am I right? I think Tennessee by 3.
It's at Vandy.
I think Tennessee by 3.
Holy moly.
Tennessee by 3. I hate to even say it because I love to go against Tennessee, but I'm going to go with Tennessee by 3.
Josh?
Let's go Vandy. Let's go. I raised my horse. Vandy. I ain't like gold or anything. All right, dude. I'm sorry. I hate Tennessee. You can take that one and wipe it off the piece of paper. I can't stand them. I'll go with anybody. It could be EKU.
I got Tennessee 20. I don't think Vandy
by 20.
I don't think 21. I don't think
Good
I don't
God.
think at Vandy's going to make a difference.
Wow.
I don't think at Vandy. It's at Vandy.
Yeah, I know they have better
I
athletes.
throw a smoke bomb.
That's like playing at Berea Community. Like I don't think at Vandy really makes a huge difference.
I know they have better athletes put on the field. I know
they're
that.
doing
So.
construction on the field.
Okay, next, we got Michigan at Ohio State.
Ohio State.
Go to the next. I seen a commercial today about that game. I'm like, this is the biggest load of crap. Like, this game is like, and I've looked forward to that game for years.
Yeah, it's
This is an awesome game.
Oh,
I've
is.
watched it in the snow. Like all types of conditions, like it's been such a great this year. It's like I mean,
it's a Ohio State powerhouse.
That ain't nothing there. It is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's close. We got Notre Dame at USC.
Notre Dame.
USC beat LSU though. And I don't know. I say Notre Dame. Haven't really played one, but this is the strongest schedule Notre Dame's played. I mean, they played 4
They've been
states.
good.
4 states, not even one. But they did lose to Northern Illinois, but that's a fluke. Every team has a bad game. I mean, the only team that
Go
hasn't.
against Notre Dame.
And I think it's going to be closer than people think, though. But Notre Dame, 10. 10 is what I think. What do you think, Notre Dame?
Notre Dame by a touchdown. That's what I think.
Close mark.
No.
I think it'll be a good game.
Okay, next up we got this one. I mean, heard a lot of stuff about it. Auburn at Alabama, and I've heard a lot of stuff on Instagram that Auburn or Bama hasn't beat Auburn at Bama without Nick Saban. Like it was either ever or
I think
like
it's gonna
20,
happen.
30 years.
I'll take Auburn.
I think coaching's not. I think coaching's been a problem for Bama, but I think they win this. Auburn's not that good.
I'll take Auburn.
Auburn's not that good.
I'm gonna hate to even say it again. I don't hate to say this. I think it'll be a good game. I think it'll be a surprise. I think Auburn's got a a really good coach and just give him some time. But I think Bama will get him. But it's going to be by 3, maybe a touchdown. But I think Bama will get him. I hate to say it, but that's what I think.
Next up, we got Kansas State at Iowa State. Kansas State is currently 24th at 8-3, and Iowa State is 9-2 at 18th. And Iowa State was the last Big 12 team. No, not the second to last team to be undefeated. The Big 12 was like the ninth last team to be undefeated. Kansas State has. I mean, I don't know too much about both of them, but I just know Kansas State's offense is good.
Bunch of corn farmers.
But I take Iowa State barely.
Where we at? We at Iowa State?
Yeah,
Iowa State.
I mean, I'll take Iowa State.
I'll take Iowa State.
Yeah, I'll take that.
I'll take it. I don't know what the margin. Touchdown, maybe.
Touchdown.
Yeah, I think so at Iowa State. Yeah.
This game, I think, is going to be a big factor to playoffs, almost as big as the last one I had. But South Carolina at Clemson.
Clemson.
I think Clemson barely.
At Clemson?
I think it's going to be a very small margin. I think
South Carolina beat A&M. They put up a fight against almost every team. That should have been close. I want to say Clemson barely because it's at Clemson. If it's at South Carolina beats them. But Clemson's hard to beat at. And then Dabo Swinney doesn't lose at home, kind of anymore. I mean, it's getting to that point where he don't have the team anymore. No, but
he ain't got the swag anymore like he used to.
He's
leveling out.
Yeah,
and then, that's cool though, man. He's a good coach.
Yeah, he is a good coach. He's smart. Yeah.
Okay, and so we all got Clemson in that one.
Yeah, we got Clemson.
Okay, last one, game day game. Texas at Texas.
At A&M.
It's gonna be Texas.
I think it'll be Texas. And honestly, who beat A&M last weekend?
Auburn.
Yeah.
That
was a good
game.
That I should have caught that ball.
Was that 3 overtimes?
3, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that game.
That drop. Texas get them.
Texas will win. Second ranked team they played. Well, played Michigan, but Michigan's not anybody. But second ranked team they played. It's away. I say Texas, but it goes into overtime by a touchdown.
Yeah. It upsets me that Michigan is not like a good team. I don't really give a shit. But I'm just saying, like, I've enjoyed watching them over the years. You know, it's almost like Notre Dame. Like, my cousin, he's a very big Notre Dame fan. So I've always just paid attention to them. So and they're fun to watch. Such a big tradition.
Oh, rich history. I mean,
old school football. You know, Rudy.
Rudy.
Just old.
I've always liked Notre Dame. They just the last few years, it's just like they build them up, and all of a sudden they play a big game, and it's like, man,
they haven't stayed steady in a long time.
But
it's a
different game now. Oh yeah, for sure. You know, for sure, and you can't forget the tradition.
And I'll tell you, like with a lot of teams, or just anything, just in general, college football, I am very surprised that Oklahoma this year did as terrible.
They had quarterback problems.
They did, but I really thought, you even heard me speak last year. I was like, oh shit, Oklahoma's coming to the SEC. I didn't even talk about Texas. When did you hear me talk about Texas? Never talked about Texas. Mm-hmm. I just thought that was the thing coming.
Yeah.
But it's flip-flop for me. I'm like, oh, crap.
They don't keep
because I thought, in my mind, I was like, crap. Oklahoma's coming to the SEC. They're going to empty out Alabama. They're going to empty out this. They're going to empty out that because it's Oklahoma. You know what I mean? But these, coaching and things what is it? Oh, Bob. And Bob was there.
That was when he had Baker, right?
He was killing it.
Oklahoma done great.
He had me, I love.
He had back-to-back first-round picks with Baker and Colin Murray.
Oklahoma,
he was killing.
Well, you got to think they don't keep the quarterbacks. Look,
I always said, hey, let's raise some money and get Bob up here with Mark. Hey, UK, let's see. we'll have us a championship.
Yeah.
You talk about building a team, dude. You get Bob and Mark on the same team. Holy crap!
Once he got his younger brother,
man, you'd have to pay him so much money.
Oh yeah,
it would be ridiculous.
But you got to think.
Hope would have to get
Williams left, Rattler left, and Dylan Gabriel.
Oh God, dude, Spencer Rattler.
Dylan Gabriel.
Oh man, is that even a name? Like,
Dylan Gabriel. Yeah.
That kid had his own. I'll tell you what happened to that kid. He had his own little Netflix show when he was in high school, and it ruined his life. Is what it was. He got to college and found out what's up.
What's up?
Yeah.
I think Oklahoma will be back, but honestly, they're an SEC, and it's going to be tough.
One day, it's going to be big. They're going to get some recruits.
It may be 10 years, guys. It may be.
Yeah.
But
I still stick by what I've said since the beginning of the year. I think Alabama they've approached the end of their reign in the SEC. Now, are they still going to be? They're going to be. You're going to have to compete with them and stuff like that. But they're not going to be going after championships like they were. It's not going to happen.
Well,
I don't think so.
Prior to Nick Saban,
and I think Georgia is going to start doing the same thing. I think it's going to start.
I think you may be right.
A couple years from now. I think Georgia and Alabama is just going to be another. I mean, look at Florida. They went on that roll. They went on that long roll, and then it just downhill slowly. Went downhill. There's been a lot of SEC teams like that.
Yeah.
Well, I think just sports and a lot of things in general. What is the biggest thing going on right now?
Times change.
What is the biggest thing going on right now? I think you're right on Kirby Smart. Now, I think Kirby's got a few more years to be in on top.
But I think
you're right, though. Yeah. I think you're right. I think that
you start hitting that downhill.
That's what happened to Dabo at Clemson. He's a heck of a coach.
It's no disrespect to him.
No,
it's just times change, man. The players change, and it's different.
Different system.
It's different. Like I said, Florida did it. They were up on top, man. They were scary.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? They were really scary.
Auburn,
they hit a couple years there. They were crazy. Kentucky, they never hit it, but yeah, we're just comfortable going to Nashville and drinking all day and going to the same bowl. But Alabama and Georgia, I think Georgia after the next couple of years is going to start hitting that slide too, and that's when we'll start seeing maybe Oklahoma come back in, and maybe these other. South Carolina, like places like that. Maybe Auburn start coming back.
Florida continue to run.
Florida.
Yep. Continue to run.
Count Florida out.
That's
a tough program.
They got so many players to pick from in the state. Yeah. Recruiting. I mean, it's so many.
They just got like 5 recruits in the past 3-4 days.
Yeah.
Something.
Well, I mean, look at Kentucky basketball. Maybe Kentucky football needs to look at that. Let's get some in-state guys just to run the program, and we're going to go on a roll.
But about Bama and Georgia, they both have the top 2 classes this year. So I think Bama's going to go down because of coaching, but I think Georgia's going to be a minute. I think Georgia has a good solid 5-7 years of top.
You think they're going to win a championship this year?
No, I don't think they'll win. I don't think they'll win it this year, but I think the next 10 years they have a legitimate shot, and then they're going to be like Bama, we'll say 7-10 range, and then I think they're going to be like Bama, and something's going to happen, someone's going to move on, and it's going to affect.
Yeah.
But Bama, I think, is going down, but I think they will find a coach in a few years because they have the players, they have the depth to build up, they still have the coach to develop.
Think the prodigal son will return to Alabama, leave Ole Miss? Think he will? And go back?
Well, it could be Dabo. Dabo is too.
He don't like Bama. I think because the rivalry they had between 2016 to 2019 won't let him do that.
I'll be honest with you.
He hates it.
God, it had to be a fat check, dude. It had to be a fat check.
Somebody that wants to actually coach Alabama, those some big shoes to fill, and they better be ready to win. Because if they're not ready, you're out. You're out. So it's going to hit you pocketbooks.
And it happens often.
It does,
Last
and I
2 or 3
just
years, you've seen a lot of coaches just. It's wild.
and I don't and I'm gonna use the two I just mentioned. You mentioned as well. Dabo's at Clemson. Clemson is not in Alabama,
No,
and he's kind of fell down just a little bit. And he's a heck of a coach.
but back in the day, well, I
was
shouldn't
tough.
say back in the day,
But just about 5 years.
5 years ago. I
He
mean,
was
Clemson was
the
one of
team.
those teams that you're like, shit, they're big, they're tough,
And
but it hasn't been the spotlight. But like I said, down there,
That transfer portal.
it
Players don't
plays.
play, they leave, and then you got teams like.
Can you blame them?
Well, then you got teams. Look at this. You got teams like Boise State, BYU, SMU, Penn State, Miami. That gets those teams up. Then you got teams like Bama, Notre Dame falling, Georgia falling. That's what affects those. But playoffs. But going on, next up we got college basketball startup, and we'll know you guys' best few teams, and what's your thoughts on
few on college basketball.
10. Don't have to have an order. Just name teams that you think
That we
are good.
think are going to do what?
Have a chance to go Final Four or Elite Eight. We'll say Elite Eight.
I'm going to take Kansas, Duke, Gonzaga looks really good.
They did lose to West Virginia, but it is one game. It's one game.
It's one game.
Basketball, you lose many games.
Duke, Gonzaga.
Auburn, they beat Iowa
looks
State.
good.
Who else they beat? They beat Iowa State, North Carolina. Maybe someone else that's up there too. Indiana's not been looking good. North Carolina and Arizona are both on their third loss already.
Yeah. If we. So we got right now, and then we have Clemson, I do believe,
yep.
and then Gonzaga. If we beat Clemson, and then we can beat Gonzaga, we could be at the 2 spot right there.
We
Easy.
could be, yeah.
That's really the other night I was and I do not root for Duke at all. I was in my house standing up for Duke. I'm like, please beat them, because that would make us look good.
Oh yeah,
That would make us look really good if they would have beat Kansas. But that was a damn good game. I don't know if y'all
I'm pretty sure
watched
they did
it.
beat Kansas. I think they did.
Duke.
They did.
No,
Kansas
no.
beat them. I
Yeah,
was
Kansas
backed. I was
beat 'em.
backed. Never mind. Yeah.
What's his name got? He got flagrant. Was it flagrant 3 and got
Which
kicked
one?
out of the
For Duke?
daggone game,
For
dude?
Duke,
Yeah.
flag.
No, it was for Kansas.
Hunter Dickinson.
Yeah, he got
dude.
flagrant 3 and got kicked out of the game. That hurt him really big, and right then I was like,
Yeah.
because if they would have beat him, it would have made us look great.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
We would have shot down again. But I think if we clear these 2 games out, we're a top 2 team. Can we hold it? I don't think so. We're going to lose some games. That's just gonna
Everyone
happen.
does.
We're going to do it.
Basketball.
We're going to get into conference play. We're going to get on the road. We're going to lose a couple games. Do I think that we are I think we can make it to a Sweet 16.
I think so.
I think we can make a Sweet 16.
The only thing I see with Kentucky is, they got that one guy. I don't know his name.